It tastes so much better than what you can buy at the store. We absolutely loved to eat this fresh fruit out of our garden.
We have a lot of farmers that, they want to do kind of the next step, may need equipment, or they may need irrigation or cold storage or whatever it is they need. They don't often have the cash up front, so that's where the Farming Money Grant really helps get farmers to the next phase of their farm businesses.
The people who are doing urban farming, or really any farming at all, are doing it because it is a passion, it's a vision, it's a love, but it's not necessarily always super lucrative. And especially when you're just getting started out, if you have a project in mind that's going to improve the efficiency of your farm, it's going to improve how much food you can grow, how many people you can feed, we want to support that.
We started in 2020 with COVID happens. We got a hydroponic out of our balcony. In 2021, by winter, we built our greenhouse and we moved up here. And then we started growing in our main garden. And then our chickens arrived in 2022. And after the chickens, our ducks arrived, and we absolutely love it. This tomato hasn't traveled for days, and they haven't been sprayed with anything or put in like fertilizers even at all. And it's like as much natural as you can grow them. My dream for this place is got an orchard. I got the grant to grow trees, like fruit trees. Thanks to this grant, I got access to that orchard like at least 5 years before what I can afford it. I can harvest my fruit soon. So it's like I'm gonna have my dream orchard. It's helping us to do it faster, more efficient. I can just get to that dream really easy.
I love mushrooms. I love fungi. And I couldn't really find any variety here in Kansas City when I was looking as far as gourmet mushrooms go. And I kept hearing about all these varieties like lion's mane, king trumpet, that were really good for you and good for different recipes. And so I kind of took it upon myself to just start growing my own mushrooms. Like with mushroom farming, there's kind of contamination that goes along with it. And our old lab was kind of temporary and it was falling apart. It was wonderful to get that grant. That got us the whole lab, so we don't need a large investment to make big changes here at the farm. It helped us up production, it helped us be more efficient. So those little things like that really go a long way for us. I like being able to grow food for people, something that people are looking for, that they want, that they can't find, easily in Kansas City. When we get the call of do you have lion's mane? And I'm like, yes. They're like, oh my gosh, this is so fantastic. I've been looking everywhere for lion's mane. More places, I think, is our goal of across the Midwest, get people access to something like lion's mane just in their everyday grocery store.
My husband and I were talking about food security and how each community should have its food independence. And we realized that a lot of people were getting into the idea of where our food is coming from, but nobody was thinking about where our seed was coming from. And a lot of seeds were not coming from where it was sold. That was kind of start our brain okay, so if the seed doesn't come from here, where did they come from? When I moved to the States, one thing brought me was the curiosity of tomatoes. Because I was always thought tomatoes were this little red one, and that's it, tomatoes. When the first time in 2007, when I saw tomatoes, green tomatoes, pink tomatoes, black tomatoes, I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. So that kind of like give us a head start. To bring it back and forth is kind of like a lot of hassle because it's a big tractor. Originally, we were thinking small tractor, but when we're really thinking into expanding to more production.
This is not just, folks doing a community garden in their neighborhood. This is a lot bigger than that, and this is people's livelihood. And as we've seen, when local supply chains, regional supply chains, national, international supply chains break down, these folks are often the folks that are actually feeding our communities.
We believe that urban farming is important. It's doing many different things. One, it's providing a green space, like a beautiful, vibrant, floral garden in the middle of what is otherwise industrial areas. So that has huge impacts on the heat island effect. It has effects on people's mental health. And it's also huge to grow the food where the people are. Through cutting down on food miles, people know where their food is coming from. They know exactly what's being done to it. And it creates a community, You're building rapport with your neighbors. You're improving their lives. They're improving your life. It's more than just growing food, but it's also supporting people with nutritious food, which can't be undervalued as well. We need generous partners in our community that can come alongside us and help us fund these programs. Us as Cultivate Kansas City, we sadly don't have the budget to do this all by ourselves. Administering mini grants is something that we really love to do, but we need partners to provide the funding for it. Was that rambling? Okay.